Hello and welcome to another episode of Dime.Scheduler in under 10 minutes. In this episode, we will explore a sample use case for using Dime.Scheduler with Microsoft to-do lists. We will be using our Power Platform connector that enables you to click and drag your applications together and link them to standard products like Dime.Scheduler without writing a single line of code. So let's dive in. I've worked out a little scenario where we will create to-do tasks every time we plan something new on the planning board for our consultants in the organization. Now, typically you would use Exchange for those kind of things, but for whatever reason, you could use an alternative like Microsoft to-do lists. Pretty much every episode starts the same way, so it won't be a big surprise to learn that we are currently looking at Dime.Scheduler, where I've opened a user profile that is suitable for planning short-term projects. In the second tab in the browser, I've also opened Business Central, but we won't be spending much time in Business Central today. I'll rather focus on Dime.Scheduler and its integration with To-Do List. But actually, let's start with Business Central and create a project that we can plan in and make available in To-Do. I'll quickly go over this part. If you want to learn more about the jobs module, we have a couple of episodes dedicated to this topic. But essentially, what you need to do is go to the jobs list, navigate to the project that you want to plan, fill it out, and also make sure to set the configuration of Dime.Scheduler just so this project behaves the way you want it to behave. So for example, the planning mode will be planning board, and we're going to plan on the job task level. Let's go to the actions item in the menu, expand our Dime.Scheduler submenu, and then send this job to the open tasks list in Dime.Scheduler so you can look for a resource and make it available in Microsoft To Do. The project is now available in the open tasks list, and then we can start looking for resources who can carry out these tasks. We could use components like the resource filters or the capacity and planning pivot grid to help us look for the right resource. But for the purposes of this demo, we're just going to use the planning board. Let's take one of these tasks and drag it and drop it onto the right resource and with a date and time that's feasible. There we go. As always, as soon as you do anything on the planning board, we are going to reach out to all the systems that want to process this new planning information. For jobs, we're going to create job planning lines, and then we'll see here for this job task, we have now a job planning line of type budget that holds the same information as our appointment in the planning board. Also, it is possible to synchronize the planning that you produce on this planning board with people's Outlook calendars. When we have a look at Johnny Marr's Outlook calendar, we see this new job task nicely appears in Outlook as well. But this is not what I wanted to show you. Let's have a look at what we can do with to-do lists. Besides writing back to Business Central and Exchange, a third workflow was triggered when we dropped that task on the planning board. It is a Power Automate flow. And as you can see, it is quite a simple flow where 2 of the 3 steps involve our Power Platform connector. As soon as you drop an appointment to the planning board, we're going to invoke this flow, passing along all the information of our appointment to this step, and then we can use all the appointment information in subsequent steps. And in this flow, the only thing that we'll do is create a new to-do item using appointment information like the subject, like the ending date, and the body of our appointment in Dime.Scheduler. When we've created that to-do item, we also want to make sure and update our appointment in Dime.Scheduler to add a link to our appointment that takes us back to that item in To Do. So So let's have a look at how that looks like in Dime.Scheduler and in To-Do. First of all, let's go to To-Do, and then we can see here in our projects list, we have that same appointment shows up as a to-do item in this list. And then we can use this application with standard functionality that comes out of the box. When we go to Dime.Scheduler, and I may have to reset the view here so it shows up in the planning board. If we right click on this appointment that we just planned in, navigate to the links, we can see we can go to To-Do from within Dime.Scheduler. If we click on that item, this just opens up a new tab in the browser and takes us back to that appointment corresponding to-do item holding the same information that we provided in the Power Platform. Or perhaps you would like to flip the story and plan tasks that you create inside To-Do. That's perfectly possible and standard functionality of the Power Platform. And that's what we're currently seeing on screen. So we're going to listen to new to-do items in a specific to-do list and then make those available as tasks in Dime.Scheduler. So what we're doing here is pretty much mapping data from our to-do item to a Dime.Scheduler property. And when we add a new record to this list, let's say prepare for. As soon as I hit enter, that flow will be invoked, and after a couple of seconds, we'll have a new task appearing in our open tasks list in Dime.Scheduler, and then we can use all the tools at our disposal to plan that one in. If we then also scroll to the bottom, we'll see a new item appears that comes from the Power Platform and the to-do list subsequently. This was a simple example of how you can use Dime.Scheduler with Microsoft to-do lists using the Power Platform. In the next episode, we'll do something similar, but with a different product that is exposed on the Power Platform. For more information, check out our website, Dime.Scheduler.com, and get your free demo. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode.